Syracuse game on the two Syracuse games actually. Like, what went wrong for you guys?
They're a good team. We're going into a hostile environment. It was a big game for them as well. Obviously, getting out to a lead, they got out to an early lead. Hurt us. When you're on the road and you're down 2 goals early in a game, it's not easy to come back. In a game that you have to win, we had to open up a little bit, and ultimately we lost the game, and at the end of the night it wasn't going to matter anyway.
So when you guys heard that Syracuse was resting a lot of its key players, how did that affect your guys' mentality?
Didn't at all. We played them a week earlier, 2 weeks earlier in our building, and they had 8 defensemen dressed. They had a bunch of guys out of the lineup, and they're still one of the better teams in the league and beat us in our own building. We didn't even speak about it. You looked at their lineup; they still had a really good team dressed. I think they're going to be tough to beat in the playoffs. They got a great team.
So when you guys heard this St. John's announcement, what was your message to the team after that, and what was it like hearing?
It's tough when you hear that. Going into the third period, I told our guys we're not going to change how we play. We've prided ourselves on playing a certain style of hockey, and showing character was big. And going to the third period, I asked them to continue to play they have all year long.
So when you look back at the season, obviously there were a bunch of rough stretches. What do you wish would have gone differently?
Well, I wish we would have won a game or 2 more and still be playing. It was, there were times when there was 33 players in Vancouver, and that means that we're missing 10 guys. And I give our team a lot of credit for putting themselves in a spot to battle for a playoff spot right down to the wire. I'm proud of this group. Do I wish we would have won a couple more games? Yeah, for sure. The game, the one game at home against St. John's, the 1-0 game was a big game to lose. It was like it was almost like a Game 7 feeling, as close as you can get in regular season to a playoff game. That would be it. If we had won that game, we're ahead by a point going into and in the playoffs. So, but I also remember talking to the team in November and saying how important the points were in November as they are in April. And every team can say that, but when you're coming down to the final game of the year and you're down a point, you look back and there are a lot of points that maybe you could have picked up along the way.
So what are some of the biggest things that you could see this team improving on for next year?
Well, the thing about the American Hockey League is your team is always changing from year to year. It's too early to sit here and say what this team is going to look like. So much depends on the big team and what they do and the signings that they make as to what kind of players are going to be here, what young players are coming out and turning pro, and who makes the big team. And there's things like waivers that happen, and it's that's the one exciting part of coaching in the AHL is you're almost starting from scratch every year and trying to build that foundation and to try to make your team ready to play at the end of the year.
So what are your thoughts and expectations heading into the offseason for yourself?
It's the same as any other season. We sit back as a staff, reflect. How can we get better? How can we improve? And we're always looking for areas within the game that are changing every season. This game of hockey is changing all the time. It's a lot faster now than it was even 4 years ago. The style of play is changing around the NHL, around the AHL, and we're always trying to stay on top of that.
All right, thank you very much.
One last question.
All right.
You talked about how you changed from year to year. This year you changed from week to week. The team you started out with, Magna, Stetcher, Chaput, isn't what you ended up with.
Right.
And a lot of times you had to go with a rookie as your number 1 goaltender. And it'd be a hell of a challenge.
It is, but that comes with the territory. You know that when you're in the AHL, your team is constantly going to change, and in a way, that makes you as a coach. You're looking for ways to help your team win, and little tweaks in your system that maybe you have to make because certain players are gone. Your special teams change a lot. And, that's why, like you said, we lost some key players that we had on our team early in the year. And it did change the look of our team. And the way our team battled to get themselves into a position, I was proud of them.
Was that the most impressive thing this season, or was it some individual play like Thatcher?
You know what? at the end of the year when you lose, it's hard. It's hard to take positives out of a season. But this group, for me, if they would have put themselves in a spot to be in the playoffs, I think they could have done some damage. And I am proud of them. It's hard to, when you don't make the playoffs, it's hard to say that you're proud of a group. But it was a trying year for this team, and we saw big improvements in a lot of players. Some of our young guys, I thought, made good strides. I thought obviously Demko had a big push in his year, and really all our young guys. I thought they improved a lot. You look at guys like Carconi, who a lot of people didn't know about. I thought at the end of the year he was playing his best hockey, and you're hopeful for big things out of guys that maybe aren't big names to a lot of people.